In the landscape of contemporary warfare, the traditional concept of decisive military victory has undergone a fundamental transformation. A single devastating blow, regardless of its magnitude or tactical precision, rarely brings a modern conflict to its conclusion. The wars of the 21st century are not won through shock and awe alone, but rather through the sustained ability to manage the operational tempo, maintain strategic patience, and outlast the adversary in a test of national will and capacity. The conflict in Ukraine has become a defining example of this new paradigm. Here, the ability to control the pace and rhythm of military operations has proven more valuable than the capacity to launch the swiftest or most overwhelming initial assault. Time itself has become weaponized. Defense in depth has replaced the lightning strike. National industrial capacity, logistical endurance, and the resilience of civil society have emerged as the primary weapons determining the outcome of this protracted struggle. The launch of large-scale simultaneous operations. According to extensive reporting from Russian military sources and field correspondents embedded with various units, a coordinated and large-scale military operation was initiated across multiple sectors of the Ukrainian front within a concentrated 24-hour period. These sources assert that the balance of power along the extensive front line is experiencing a rapid and significant shift as units from various branches of the Russian armed forces launched simultaneous offensive operations along the eastern, southern, and northeastern axes of advance. Military analysts and sources with connections to Russian command structures have emphasized that this multi-pronged offensive was not an opportunistic or reactive move, but rather the culmination of weeks of meticulous preparation, logistical positioning, and tactical planning. The stated operational objective, according to these sources, is to apply sustained and parallel pressure on Ukraine's most critical defensive lines, forcing Ukrainian commanders to make difficult choices about resource allocation and potentially creating cascading failures across the front. Operational details and tactical methodology. Field reports from various sectors of the front provide a detailed picture of how these operations have unfolded on the ground. The assault forces reportedly number in the thousands, representing a significant concentration of combat power. These infantry units are supported by a combined arms team that includes armored elements providing mobile firepower and protection, artillery units delivering preparatory fires and ongoing fire support, and extensive deployment of unmanned aerial systems for reconnaissance, targeting, and direct attack. The geographical scope of these operations is particularly noteworthy. Significant offensive operations have been reported on the western outskirts of Donetsk, a city that has been contested since 2014 and has become symbolic of the broader conflict. Simultaneously, Russian forces have intensified operations along the Zaporizhzhia line, a strategically vital area that serves as a gateway to southern Ukraine and whose control would have significant implications for both sides' strategic positions. The tactical methodology being employed follows a classical pattern of combined arms warfare. Initial contact is preceded by intense artillery preparation, with Russian rocket artillery and tube artillery units conducting sustained fire missions designed to suppress Ukrainian defensive positions, destroy fighting positions, degrade communications infrastructure, and cause casualties among defending units. Following the artillery preparation, specialized assault groups move forward to exploit the effects of the fires, seeking to identify and exploit weak points in the defensive line. Impact on Ukrainian command and control. Military sources analyzing these operations have consistently highlighted the strain being placed on Ukrainian command and control systems. The nature of simultaneous multi-axis attacks creates a fundamentally different challenge than sequential operations or fighting focused on a single sector. When attacks come from multiple directions at once, military commanders face a cascade of difficult decisions about where to commit reserves, which sectors can be temporarily weakened to reinforce others, and how to maintain overall coherence of the defense. Communication systems come under particular strain during such operations, as units call for support, request clarification of orders, report enemy movements, and coordinate their actions. The volume of radio traffic and digital communications increases dramatically. If these communication systems have been degraded by electronic warfare or physical destruction of communications nodes, the strain becomes even more severe.